Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Imatus Soliha and I'm from Pragmatic 6C class. Today I would like to present about my final project that is about summarizing article. The topic that I choose is about speech act. And the article that I want to present is entitled An Analysis of Speech Act Used in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire movie. About the article details, the authors of this article is one, Putri IAPADP, and the second one is Ramendra DP, and the third one is Swandana IW. And this article was published on International Journal of Language and Literature, Volume 3, Number 2, May 2019. And then the next topic is about the objective of the research. The first one is to explain the speech act used in the Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire film based on Austen's theory, 1962. And then the second objective is to analyze the type of illocutionary act used in the movie based on Searle theory, 1969. And then the third objective is to classify the speech act used, whether concluded as direct or indirect speech acts based on Parker's theory, 1986. So here the writers choose to have three objectives and use three pragmatic theory that is about speech act. The first one is using Austen's theory, and then Searle theory, and Parker's theory. So the next topic is about the research design. This research is using descriptive qualitative research. It means that the data gathered was expressed in words rather than numbers, and also the writers provide their interpretation regarding with the data chosen and analyzed. And then the research subject in this study were the characters in the Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire movie, and the research object was utterances and conversations between the actors or characters in the film. Jadi subjek dari researchnya sendiri itu adalah karakter yang ada di film Harry Potter, and then the object is the utterances produced by the characters. And then there were primary data, which the movie itself, and secondary data, which additional notes and the movie script used to support the data collection and analysis. The data collection is through observation and documentations method, and then the data analysis was done by using data reduction, data display, and verification, and conclusion. Jadi di dalam data analysis dalam artikel ini, penulis menggunakan data reduction, which means that penulis tidak menjelaskan dan menyebutkan semua data yang telah dianalisis, kemudian data display and verification, and then make the conclusion based on their analysis. And then the research result shows that the classification of speech act, there are locutionary act, illocutionary act, perlocutionary act, direct speech act, and then indirect speech act. Here I will mention 5 examples of the data. The first one is old man saying bloody kids. The utterance was classified as exclamation form because it was purposed to express the speaker's anger. The literal meaning in this example was bleeding children. Bloody kids mean bleeding children. And then, however, the utterance was actually used to indirectly swear those children. Jadi, dalam kutipan bloody kids yang diutarakan oleh the old man, literal meaning dari bloody kids sendiri adalah bleeding children. Namun, sebenarnya utterance ini digunakan oleh speaker tidak untuk mengatakan bleeding children, namun untuk expressing swearing to the children. And it was concluded as expressive illocutionary act used to communicate strong feelings of the speaker. There was also listener to the utterance that can be affected by the utterance, and this utterance can be described as a direct speaking act of swearing. Jadi dalam kutipan bloody kids, kutipan ini termasuk dalam illocutionary act dalam bentuk ekspresif untuk mengomunikasikan feelings dari speaker itu tersendiri. Lalu utterance ini juga termasuk dalam direct speaking act of swearing. Kemudian example number 2, the data was how fastidious you've become, Wormtail, as I recall you once called the nearest gutter pipe home. Could it be that the task of nursing me has become wearisome for you? And then the Wormtail responded, oh no, my lord, Voldemort, I only meant perhaps if we were to do it without the boy. So in the second example, this utterances was a direct speech act of asking, since it can be shown by looking at the structural form, which was an interrogative form that represented the function of that utterance to ask something, and thus the perlocution act was the response of confirmation from the listener. Jadi example number 2 ini merupakan direct speech act dan termasuk ke dalam interrogative form. Kemudian perlocution yang dihasilkan dari example number 2 ini adalah respons dari listener, that is in the form of confirmation from the listener. And then the next example is example number 3, Wormtail, oh no, my lord, Voldemort, I only meant perhaps if we were to do it without the boy. And then Lord Voldemort answered, no, the boy is everything, it cannot be done without him, and it will be done exactly as I say. The utterance 3 was a declarative form because the speaker wanted to express his opinion. In illocutionary act, this example involved interactive types in the form of giving suggestion to the listener. In this example, the effect was the rejection of the listener, that the listener refused to follow the speaker's suggestion. The utterance 3 was considered as a direct speech act of suggesting because its function and structural form of the utterance were compatible. And then the next is example number 4. Voldemort, no, the boy is everything. It cannot be done without him, and it will be done exactly as I say. And then unknown man, I will not disappoint you, my lord. And then the Voldemort said, good, first gather our old comrades, send them a sign. In example number 4, this utterance is classified as a promise or of commitment to someone or something. The function of an illocutionary act was called a commitment, and it was included in the commissive type of speech act. As a result of this statement, which is the perlocutionary act, the listener felt glad and satisfied since the speaker would follow his directions. This example was categorized as a direct speech act of committing because the function and the structural form of this utterance were aligned, in which the utterance was a declarative form employed to indicate the speaker's commitment. And then the last example is Voldemort saying, good, first gather our old comrades, send them a sign. The utterance 5 was in the form of imperative and categorized as directive type of illocutionary act in the form of giving direct order. The result was the listener obeyed and did as the speaker's command, and it was not direct response. In the movie, based on its form and function, this example was considered as direct speech act of order. So I will conclude this article that the first is about the locutionary act. It is about the type or the form of the sentence or the utterance. And then the illocutionary act is the function of the utterance. And then the perlocutionary act is about the effect caused by the speaker, in which caused the listener to do something. Whether for the direct or indirect speech act, the direct speech act is about the form and the function has the same purpose. Whether the indirect speech act is about the form and then the function of the utterance does not go in the same way. Okay, I think that's all from me, and thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.